Petri dish, the Petri dish, the Petri dish,
This is
the Petri dish, the Petri dish, the Petri dish. This is the Petri dish.
Yeah,
This
I
is the
dig it. That was a cool intro.
This is
Yeah.
the podcast with a theme song that works again live. It does what it's supposed to, which is pump you up for the show.
Yes.
There's something growing in here, and it's technological skill and the ability to Google something and then like follow through. I did it.
Nice.
I learned how OBS transitions work.
Yeah.
I'll get smoother at it.
Okay.
Definitely I'll get smoother. But hi Jonathan. Jonathan's here, everybody.
Hey. I'm here.
Hell yeah.
How are you today?
I'm doing all right. I'm a little bummed out because I had to cancel on a comedy show that I was kind of looking forward to.
Oh.
But
is that the Pro-Am one?
No, that one's next week. This one was gonna be like my kind of little warm-up one. Some of my friends in San Francisco do a weekly show at like a bar that they're trying to they're trying to build this weekly show. And I just figured like new crowd, a place I don't go to often. It'll be great to just like get up back out there. But then the entire weekend just started going south. Like a bunch of Alicia's coworkers got COVID and shit. So at first we were like, oh fuck, are we infected again? So that was the first thing. Like, we're good. We have had negative tests, but who knows?
But you've been in contact.
Yeah.
So you don't know.
So that was like bummer number one. And then I was like, okay, like we don't have COVID, so we can still do this show. But then because everyone was out with COVID, Alicia's like the only manager, so I would just be going to this show in the Bay alone that like Alicia already told all her friends to go to.
Oh.
And so I'd be like, hey guys, she had to work last minute. Sorry.
Yeah.
So that was a little weird.
Yeah.
But then she started feeling COVID-y again, but we're out of tests. You know? So like she was like, I'm just not gonna go, with both like all the things. It's like, I understand. And even this morning I thought, hey, I can still go, like go have a burrito, at a cool place, do the show, drive home. And like still just like get up and have fun. And then I realized that over the weekend, the city had finally taken one of their quarterly bills out of my bank account. So I just woke up and I was like, I have negative $22 in my account.
Oh God.
I have negative $22. I still have to get gas to like go to San Francisco. So I was like, I'm just fucking busted. Like I just straight up can't go. Like I do not have the funds to make it over the mountain. So I canceled on that this morning. And then I was like, well shit. Well, at least my sewer still works, guess I'd rather miss out on the comedy show than come back from it and realize they shut my water off or something.
Right. Yeah. Well, what did you do for Easter? I said Christmas. Yeah. I meant Easter. Yeah.
Not much because we thought we had COVID. So my mom dropped a basket by with some candy, and then we just hung out eating Mexican food.
That sounds pretty dope.
How about you? Did you get together with your family?
Yeah, I sure did.
Sweet.
My mom came and picked me up on Friday and brought me back home.
Hell yeah.
I spent the weekend.
That's awesome.
With my folks. Yeah, it was great. I came back to the home just re-energized and ready to go.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It was a much needed recharge. Yeah.
Especially just to kind of
And then,
like get out of the space you're in and be literally
oh
anywhere
yeah,
else.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. And yeah, before we started doing this, I was messing around online and found some potential new places to live that are closer to my parents. So
That's
that's
pretty good.
kind of, yeah, yeah, that's because it's something I've been working on for a while. Just, yeah,
That's
just
good.
trying to find the options. Yeah,
Yeah, it sucks
yeah,
to feel like you only have one place you can be, like, and to kind
right,
of look out and be like, okay, there's like there's
yeah,
there's hope. There's hope somewhere.
right, yeah, yeah. And my situation is pretty weird and pretty specific. And
Yeah.
yeah, it just, it requires a lot. So,
Yeah, it's kind of tough to be
yeah,
like away from like giant cities that have like
yeah,
specific fundings for, like
yeah,
these types of situations, because you get a little rural and it's like,
yeah,
oh no, we have an old folks home. You can hang out, like
yeah.
that's what happened to my dad when he lived in South Dakota. He doesn't have any specific ailments or anything, but he moved to
Okay,
this tiny ass town
okay,
and they were like, we have an apartment in the old folks home. He's like, barely even 50. He's like, I guess.
okay. When was that?
This
Dang.
was this was only like 10 years ago when we were in South Dakota. And so he just kind of
Okay,
like, went to
yeah,
work, came back, said hi to all the old ladies playing checkers in the lobby, and just like
nice.
went to his
Okay,
little apartment.
yeah, that's, hey,
You got to get it where you can get it
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah, yeah,
Oh
that's cool.
man.
Yeah,
More updates. As you might be able to see, my background is slightly different.
hmm, it is.
Slightly different angles. You
Yeah,
can still see the guitar
is,
area.
yeah, is it the same room? Because
Yep.
it looks like a different room.
Yep. Same room. I
Nice.
have now just moved from this wall over here, where I was kind of like in the corner, and now I'm
Uh-huh.
just directly in front of the window that used to kind of be off to my side.
Okay.
So
Okay.
like now I've
Yeah.
got a little more,
Yeah.
and it's all just kind of framed a little less weird with
Okay.
my little web camera in the corner. Kind of got some Dutch angles like a 90s music video. So now we're
Oh.
we're looking like a
Yeah.
proper box,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
but
Nice.
oh yeah, I got a standing desk. So my old desk was only standing because I built it myself,
Okay. Okay.
which means I
Yeah.
wasn't ever able to sit down, which is
Right.
fine if you're not actually doing a lot of work, which I wasn't
Right.
for a little while. Uh,
Yeah.
but now that I've like even just my hobby stuff like podcasting or editing, doing
Yeah.
stuff,
Mhm.
doing music, I can't
Yeah.
just be standing in this room in place for like 6 hours. It
Right.
hurts. So
Yeah.
now I can have my sitting, and then I got the
Nice.
little, and it goes
Ooh,
up.
it does.
I forgot a part of the sad tragic tale of why I'm not doing a gig today.
Oh.
Is because the continuing the saga from last week of when I will eventually start a job.
Oh.
We have set the date for the 17th, which I think is like next Monday.
Yeah.
But they were like, that's crazy. That's like 2 more weeks of waiting. So they emailed me back and they were like, we'll start you on Monday if you can. And I was like, oh, I have a gig on Monday. I can't start then. So I'd be starting tomorrow on Tuesday. When this comes out, I'll be working.
Yeah.
But that means that I was going to uh, be at a gig the night before and then have to drive back in the middle of the night
Oh.
so that I could work in the morning on Tuesday because
Okay.
they are based out of Florida.
Okay. Yeah.
So their day starts at like 6 a.m. So I gotta like be
Right.
up and ready for their time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would have got done in the middle of the night in San Francisco with a gig, drove 3 hours back home, get home like 2 a.m. ish, and then try to
Yeah.
wake up before the 6 a.m. start of the workday.
Yeah.
Ugh,
That.
it
Yeah. That's
wasn't my
too much.
brightest plan. Was not my
No.
brightest plan.
No.
But I really
No.
wanted to squeeze this gig in, even after like Easter's canceled, everyone's got COVID, and then I was like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe. Didn't quite happen. Didn't
Yeah.
quite happen.
Yeah. That's good. Oh, update for me. I've got a CPAP machine now. Yeah.
Hey, all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Does it even have like the chin strap so your mouth doesn't open?
Yeah.
Hell
It's
yeah.
it's let me grab it. I'll show it to you.
Oh hell yeah. This is the perfect time to unveil my new transition slide.
Yeah.
Please share
Yeah.
with me your CPAP.
Okay. It's like I've gone with the full face mask,
Solid.
and honestly, it's pretty comfortable.
Hell yeah. My dad has
It's not
one.
for, okay.
So I've seen like one, he does just the nose though. So that's why he has like the nose only and then the jaw strap to keep his mouth closed, or else it just blows out of his mouth.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I I have one of those, but it messed with my boogers too much, so I ended up
Yeah.
going with the face mask one.
Does
Yeah.
yours have a good like humidity setting, or you have like a humidifier attached? Because I know that was a
Yep.
big,
Uh-huh.
like if it was just dry ass air going being blasted into your head, you would not be
Yeah.
feeling too good.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Hell
I
yeah.
yeah. They hooked me up with a bunch of stuff. I've got like two humidifiers, like two or three masks, hoses. Yeah, the
That's
whole
good.
shit.
It's
The
a
kids
bunch
are
of
free.
shit. Yeah, so it's good.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it's cool.
show that face mask part again and hold it
Oh,
sideways. It's time for a bit.
okay.
Tell me that doesn't look a little bit like it goes over your dick.
Yeah, it, yeah,
Really, I really wish I hadn't tipped my hand of pretending to know what a CPAP is so that I could
yeah.
like see it and then be like, so it sucks your dick when you're asleep? You know, like it would have been, if I was better at comedy, I would have held it until I could say that. But
Okay.
now we got to build the sketch afterwards, you know? Now we got
Okay.
to,
Yeah,
oh,
it's supposed to improve the quality of your sleep because it sucks your dick while you're asleep.
all your dreams turn into fantasies.
Right. Yeah. You just wake up a little stinky.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That'd be a great machine.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
Uh, I was just thinking about something having to do with medical equipment and I forgot.
Okay. Okay. I've, you know how people say Jesus H Christ as like an expletive?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out the H is a really esoteric translation thing. So it's it's free, it's open, you know. So what I've been doing is referring to Jesus H Christ as Jesus Hot Body Christ because he's always ripped, you know. Jesus is never not Jack.
You gotta show them the true way, which
Right.
is
Yeah.
being fucking cut, bro.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Did you? Oh, this is what I was thinking about with contraptions. It has nothing to do with medical contraptions now that I remembered it.
Okay.
Because my brain doesn't work. Uh, but did you know that there are people now who pretend to be doing a podcast to create sketches that are podcast clips?
No.
So it's like, I guess like some of them create sketches and they're funny. Like one of them was making fun of the fact that TikTokers, in order to cheat the system, will put like a dumb game in the bottom that's like a guy running collecting coins.
Okay.
So it's like people get like honed in on that game part and don't even pay attention to like someone's podcast clip or someone's like movie thing they're trying to do. And
Yeah.
so they like made fun of that by pretending to be in a podcast, and then the guy in the game like dies and they're both like, oh. Like
Oh,
some people do it funnily, but other
yeah.
people, like in lieu of doing stand up or something, like instead of
Yeah.
like creating a
Right.
thing, they'll just pretend to have a podcast
Yeah.
and do their bit so that they can create a podcast clip for like
That.
TikTok and YouTube
Yeah.
and Instagram reels and shit. It's so
Yeah.
crazy to me that people will fake doing something this lame in order
Yeah.
to look cool on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very funny
That's
to me.
yeah. Yeah. That's about as dumb, boneheaded as it gets.
I just don't understand. I don't
But
understand why people would like.
yeah.
There's so many better avenues for your comedy than creating fake podcast clips.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I guess maybe not nowadays, because I mean they're probably more popular than me. Whatever they're doing, they must be those comedians that just like study the algorithm, so they're
Right.
everything they do just depends on
Yeah.
what will get the most traction.
Yeah. But screw
Right.
that. Yeah.
I know, like I
Yeah.
don't have the effort to make art for a specific medium, like a new one every couple years. I can't. I'm gonna make one style of thing and then maybe edit it to kind of fit in other places if it can. But I'm
Yeah.
not gonna try to
Yeah. Yeah.
back alley deal my way into a.
Right. Yeah. Just chasing the effect. Yeah. That's dumb.
It's interesting to me that some people nowadays, because there's so many successful podcasts, like strive to be
Yeah.
professional podcasters, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, yeah. I mean, I think that it's like a legitimate avenue now. So,
Like, hey, Raid Shadow Legends will sponsor anybody. Anyway, this episode is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. I'm just kidding. I don't.
okay.
Honestly, I wonder if I could get one and just shove it in right there.
Yeah.
Shoehorn it in. I don't know. I don't know how many listeners you need to get ads, but I
Yeah.
do know if you're with like some of the newer podcasting services, I'm not going to name names, but you can just
Okay.
immediately start doing ads
Oh, do
for
you?
the podcasting service. And it's like, yeah,
Okay.
they're going to pay you 3 cents an episode because you mentioned the service you're using. And I'm like,
Oh,
at a certain point, the snake will start to eat its own tail
yeah. Yeah.
a little too hard. You can't just,
Yeah.
it's just a million. It's penny stocks, I guess. It's penny stocks of podcast gambling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like your podcast is a gamble on being successful,
Right.
and it's also going to be a gamble that your advertising
Yeah.
gets you any sort of money. And some
Yeah.
people are just like, I'm going to put together a podcast so I can get advertising money for this podcast service that needs us to podcast for it so it can make our money that we're not making money, but we're making enough money to advertise for this
Yeah.
podcast service that needs us to advertise its
Yeah,
podcast money.
yeah, yeah,
And that's how you get Elon Musk, like
yeah.
a snake can eat its own tail, but that doesn't mean it can't get pregnant. You know what I mean?
Yeah, somehow it all relates back to abortions and you know freedom.
Yep. And
Yep, yep,
every baby should be born with a gun. I don't care.
yeah, yeah. That was at one point in time I was like, when you turn 18, everyone should get a handgun, a bullet, a condom, and a helmet. And that's and then you're an adult.
Yep. You go make your peace with the world, whatever it's going to be.
Yeah, yeah. It was a stupid idea, but I think it's funny that you get issued a prophylactic. Yeah.
Yeah. As if the government would ever care about your reproductive health.
Only if it causes problems.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, if anything goes wrong, shoot it. I I've been real into I don't know if you've ever seen this on YouTube, but it's the lo-fi hip hop beats to relax slash study to. It's a live stream of lo-fi hip hop beats that's been like decently popular for a few years. And it turned
Okay.
into just this YouTube channel called Lo-Fi Girl because it was just like this girl studying. There was a cat next to her, and they played chill hip hop while she like flipped pages. It was very
Okay.
it was interesting. It was fun to have like a
Yeah.
slight visual, but you could just like put it on and then you do
Yeah.
your stuff. But
Yeah.
they just announced like their own website. I don't know. It said lofiworld.com, and I went there and it just went back to the YouTube channel that was already live
Okay.
streaming. So I don't know
Yeah.
what's happening, but I'm all hyped up on lo-fi hip hop girl right now.
Nice. Yeah. I'm I've been watching a bunch of JHS pedals videos on
Hell
YouTube.
yeah.
Yeah.
Big old
They
wall
make
of
good
pedals in there.
yeah, they make good content. It's funny.
I love watching all of those like musician YouTuber people, gearhead
Yeah.
people. Uh
Yeah.
that pedal guy is amazing.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
every pedal in the fucking world.
Yeah.
Uh and my favorite guy is Rob Scallon.
Okay.
He goes and he like travels and does like weird instruments. Like he recently did
Okay.
one on the musical cave that like has a bunch of like hydraulic chime things that hit certain notes in the cave, all attached to
Okay.
this big hydraulic organ inside the cave.
Cool.
He also
Cool.
did one on like old churches that like you play the giant organ and it's the entire fucking thing, just like
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
watching all his stuff because he
Yeah.
does that and he does like dumb fun things like trying to break the world record for most pedals used at once. And he like the pedal guy
Okay.
helped him secure his
Okay.
hundreds of pedals.
Yeah.
And just like the signal chaining they had to do.
Yeah.
There was like straight up audio engineers all there, like making sure it worked. Sounded like shit because it
Yeah.
was like
I'm
every
sure.
pedal.
Yeah.
But it was a fun
Yeah.
thing to watch. I'll have to
Cool.
send you some of his stuff because
Yeah. Yeah. I watch like Red Show. I don't know if you're familiar with him,
no.
but he's a guitarist and
Okay.
a YouTuber. Yeah. And then I think it's Emily the harpist, and she
Ooh.
plays harp but plugs guitar pedals into it.
Hell yeah. I think
It's
I've seen a
cool.
few of her
Yeah.
videos and a couple collaborations because like I remember seeing that
Okay.
and being like, whoa, I forgot you could do that with like other instruments. I
Yeah.
love when people
Yeah.
do that with like a stand-up bass or something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
good. So
It
good.
is. Yeah. Yeah.
Forgot what one it was, but they were I think I'm not going to try to remember which YouTuber it was, but they went to like an old instrument museum or
Okay.
something, and they were just like
Yeah.
going through and being, oh, this is how like player pianos work, and they went and looked at it, and they were like, this player piano like paper cutout sheet looks like a
Yeah.
modern day MIDI interface, like it's the same
Yeah.
fucking technology except they just used paper, and it was
Okay.
interesting to be like, wow, like the
Yeah.
technology of that has existed for a century.
Yeah. Yeah.
take that
That's cool.
take that traditional music notation. I'm not trying
Yeah.
to read music. I just want to see the little boop where the note is supposed to
Yeah.
go.
Just do do.
Yep.
Basically like piano tabs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love,
Nice.
oh, have you seen those like visual piano videos where they'll have on the across the bottom is all the piano keys, and then the notes just like rain down like it's Guitar
No.
Hero. Oh, they're
No.
so good.
Okay.
I get lost
That's
in those
cool.
because it's just fun to watch all the colors.
Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah.
It's honestly it's like Tetris. It's like that Tetris evolution game where it's just
Yeah.
like there's so much colors and nice sounds happening that I'm like, I don't care what else is happening. This is dope.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I'm easily tricked by lights and colors.
It's hard not to be.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's cool, especially if you've been smoking some reefer.
Ah, yes, the devil's lettuce.
Right. Chumbawumba, if you will.
Chumbawumba.
I just made that up. Yeah,
Honestly, it's a better name for weed than most current names for weed.
fair enough. The devil's lettuce is one of my favorite names. Yeah.
I love I unironically love Chumbawumba the band though.
Oh,
If we're making mouth noises,
okay.
Chumbawumba's kind of dope.
Yeah. Okay. Did they come out as Nazis later in their career?
No,
That was Ace of Base.
that was a few different acts from back
Oh,
in the day. Uh,
oh, yeah.
but Chumbawamba has specifically been the opposite, like their entire career, which is why it was
Nice.
crazy that they ever got like a big major label one hit wonder status at all,
Okay.
because they were doing it as kind of like a fuck you, anyone can do this, like.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so that's how we got the I got knocked down,
No, yeah.
because they were just like, here's three choruses, fuck you,
Yeah. Yeah.
because they're like anarcho-socialist European commune people. That's why there's like
Okay.
seven of them in the band, like.
Okay.
So they've been a touring, I don't want to say hardcore punk act, but they were like, they
Okay.
were counterculture, like
Yeah.
legitimate. So
Yeah.
they had been going since like the 80s, I think, like
Okay.
80s into the 90s, and then
Okay.
they just signed a major label deal because everyone was getting
Yeah.
money, and they were like, well, we're gonna say yes to money,
Yeah.
but we're gonna do whatever the fuck we want. And the labels at
Yeah.
that point were like, we don't know
Sure.
what to tell you to do. Everything's getting
Yeah.
popular.
Yeah.
And I only found that out because another band from that time, a band called Avail, didn't sell out to the major labels. And now they were
Oh.
like, I heard them on a podcast being like, would have been all right to get some money. Like,
Yeah.
all things said nowadays,
Yeah.
like, fuck
Yeah.
them, but also,
Yeah.
where you at in the end?
Right.
Chumbawamba got
Exactly.
their money, and they were like, hey, we can go back and be comfortable again forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd party with
Yeah.
Chumbawamba.
Yeah.
Oh, and also just that full album that had Tub Thumping on it. Uh Pick it up at any Goodwill. It's probably like 3 copies there. Um,
Probably, yeah.
the thing about that album is I loved it because it fits so perfectly in the like late 90s, early 2000s like rap rock and new metal sound, because they were
Oh,
very artsy post-punk. So there's lots of little like beeps and boops and like weird
yeah,
stuff going on.
yeah. I hadn't
Uh
thought about that, but yeah,
yeah,
it,
so like that album as a whole is a great like
yeah.
little art rock album. I love it.
Okay, okay. That's what matters.
Like
I
I
mean,
could listen I
I
could
love that
listen
song. I
I could
don't know.
listen to Tub Thumping and Linkin Park same time. Let's they'd be
Nice.
I wonder if anyone would like try to fight me for that.
I don't know.
I think all the Linkin Park fans are now too sad to be like
Right.
mad about stuff. I used to be in a band, in a Blink 182 cover band with a guy whose favorite band was Linkin Park. And
Okay.
I respect it. They've been around a little bit and have had some
Yeah.
hits. And now like after the fact, I'm like,
Yeah.
there's not many bands that hit that hard in their time. I want more
Yeah.
I want more Linkin Park in the world. I don't know what they're gonna do.
Probably not make music.
They've been they haven't been making new music, but they've been releasing like
Right.
all like everything from their entire history. They just did
Okay.
a second 20th anniversary album. The first
Oh,
one, yeah, the 20th anniversary of Hybrid Theory. I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast already. I just love deep diving back into bands sometimes.
yeah. Yeah.
So the Hybrid Theory 20th anniversary just got released a couple years ago, and it had
Okay.
like the original Hybrid Theory EP, which has none of the same songs.
Oh, really?
But it was how it was like Mike Shinoda and was like producing everything himself, and that was just his like, hey, labels, check us out. It was like the original CD they were like selling out of the back of their vans and shit, like they were.
Okay. Cool.
It was really interesting
Yeah.
to hear because they were a lot more like it
Yeah.
sounded a lot more like Atmosphere. I don't know if you ever listened to Atmosphere, but it was still
Yeah.
a lot more like rap oriented. But then,
Okay.
Chester Bennington would just come in with his like, ah!
Yeah.
And it is jarring.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
kind of gives you the feel of like, okay, I could understand why people were like, let's order more of this.
Yeah.
But it's so crazy that they went from that little idea into
Yeah.
immediately the iconic Linkin Park we know, like
Right.
within 5 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
crazy to me. But yeah, they also just released the 20th anniversary of Meteora. And that's the one I've been listening to lately because it has like the full album, 2 different run throughs of the album live in like various parts. So they just had like bootlegged. It's really
Okay.
cool to get like 2 live albums out of them out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then another thing of like original demos that they made. And uh, one of them sounds almost exactly how the song that got released sounds
Okay.
in the demo, which is crazy to me because I
Yeah.
have some god awful demos that have turned into amazing songs. And to hear a
Yeah.
song that's like almost there and then it's the released one. But
Yeah.
the funny part is the original, the vocals are so soft and they're just trying to hit the note so that they can like get the demo down and be like, this is the
Right.
vocal melody, these are the words.
Yeah.
And so over the instrumentation, it sounds like dog shit. It's the worst sounding song, but
Yeah.
I love the product that came out of it. And literally, like, the only different thing was like a little bit of tweaking and some vocals,
Yeah.
some good hard vocals in there.
Yeah.
They were walking. Linkin Park was always, for the last 2 decades, riding the line between amazing masterpiece and like worst bedroom demo rap rock you've ever heard. It is such a thin line. And they did it beautifully. They
Okay.
didn't ever accidentally release one of those to
Yeah.
the wild before it got a little shine.
Nice.
But I
Yeah.
loved it. I listened to it a bunch. Just went like, ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another song that's like such a banger, and they had the whole idea there almost immediately, but the demo is such dog shit. I don't know how it ever got released. Is The Killer's Mr. Brightside.
Oh,
It
really?
is one of the worst demos I've ever heard.
Oh, wow.
It sounds like really bad Strokes ripoff.
Okay.
And it just sounds like a tin can full of sadness.
Yeah.
And then you get to the actual like version that we have now, and it sounds like your favorite bar, like it just sounds like everyone
Right.
being drunk.
Yeah.
God, I don't know how people see good in the demos that I've heard from bands that are famous. What record
Yeah.
executive was like,
Yeah. There's something to that.
okay, yeah, let's give this a
Yeah.
try, because it is. They
Yeah.
must have a great live show or something, to go along with it.
Right.
Because those some of those demos are
Yeah.
are just the worst things you've ever heard.
Yeah.
It's so bad. I lose faith in music.
Oh, God.
Frequently happens where I'll be like,
Yeah.
my ears are tired to the sound of melody and rhythm.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I'll like scrape myself back, being like, you love
Yeah.
this song, and this demo, fucking dog shit. That way I'll be like, hey, I'm not so down
Yeah.
on songs anymore. Some of the stuff out there is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I'm not as harsh as I used to be. You know,
And now you're getting into all
I
that
mean,
cool shit. Deep
I
diving.
mean, yeah, like the playlist of 2022 that Spotify compiled for me in 2023 is really good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I love what Spotify does for its users.
Yeah.
They are one of the most comprehensive, like,
Yeah.
music taste algorithms ever.
Yeah.
uh like I don't know my own music tastes better than Spotify does.
No. Yeah,
it
exactly.
it knows
It's
how to sway my emotions, and
yeah.
that feels dangerous, but fuck, I love it.
Yeah. It's it's good. Yeah. Like, because I started listening to Parcels last year, and
Nice.
then it flooded me with a bunch of it for this year, and it's great. And and it's mixed in with uh, like Hair of the Dog, which is Now You're Messing With a Son of a Bitch. That song, and uh, that's Nazareth. Yeah, and then
Whoever it's
like
gonna be.
right, yeah, and like Blackfoot and Leonard Skinner mixed in there with it's just all over the place.
Hell yeah.
And Jackson Brown, it's so good. Like, yeah, and Tyler Childers and Sturgill Simpson are in there
Mm.
too. It's crazy.
Oh man, I just watched an HBO documentary. They do like a if someone's doing an album or like an important release, they'll follow that person for it. Uh
Okay.
and they just did one for Jason Isbell for his
Oh,
Reunions
wow.
album that released a couple years ago. And like
Okay.
they were recording it December of 2019. So like
Oh,
the first half is him being like stressed out in the studio, like, we're gonna have to get
yeah.
this shit right. He's like being mean to his wife and shit, and she's like, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
fucking deal with this. And then halfway
Yeah.
through the thing, boom, pandemic, and they're just like, well,
Yeah.
fucking what now? So like that
Yeah.
it's such a great documentary.
Okay. And it's on HBO.
Yeah, it's on HBO.
Okay. I'm gonna have to check that out. I like Isbell.
Yeah, and this
He's
and
good.
this made
Yeah.
me like him even more, but it made me like his wife, Amanda Shires, who like fiddles on literally everything he does, made me like her way
Oh,
more. I was like,
okay.
I love
Oh,
that she's not taking his shit.
yeah.
Because her big
Nah.
problem was like he's putting too much pressure on himself and he's being a dick to me in the studio, but
Yeah.
he's not willing to be like, oh, I'm so overburdened. Like, oh, I need a
Yeah.
minute and I just need to take a day out. He won't do that. And so
Yeah.
she like is calling him out on that shit. And
Yeah.
then he doesn't like that.
Fair enough.
And
Yeah.
so she just like, he's like, nah, not
Yeah.
doing that.
Nice. Good for her.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Jason Isbell's HBO thing. Look it up, everybody. But also that Reunions album, I'm gonna have to take another spin through it because I mean now it was released like 3 years ago, so it's not as
Okay.
fresh in my mind as it was
Okay.
back when I was first getting into it. But
Yeah. There's an Isbell song that's on my playlist that's like I think it's called If It Takes a Lifetime.
oh, I love
Where
that one.
okay, yeah, it's very good. Yeah. Yeah.
That's like I think that's one of the openers to his albums too, and it's like
Yeah.
he really knows how to like let you know what's going on.
Yeah.
He's just got such a great way with like he paints shit with his words, man. It's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. He really does. Yeah. Yeah. There's a guy from North Carolina that I follow on Spotify called BJ Barron. And, and he's the same way, you know, like the words of the song means something. Like and
He's the,
it's like, whoa,
he's the one that does American Aquarium, right?
yep,
Yep.
yeah,
I've been digging his stuff for
okay,
a good while. And you
good.
you used to know him, right?
Uh, almost. I knew of him, and
Yeah, like
I
you
don't know if he knew of me.
that
Yeah,
makes sense. But
but
you were like there when he was still just like a bar band. You were just like
right, yeah,
you were
and
getting drunk in the vicinity.
oh yeah, and I would buy him shots, the band shots,
Hell yeah.
like a lot. Yeah, there was one night I spent like $200 on shots for the band.
That sounds like
Oops.
you.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, but it was great. Yeah, I got a sweet T-shirt that night that got destroyed by a girlfriend. So
Yeah, that'll happen.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So yeah,
Yeah,
but
I've been trying to dive back into the a little bit of the alt country stuff just cuz
yeah,
there's so much more emotion there than there is in a lot of the
yeah,
previously very emotional music that I've enjoyed where I'm like, man,
yeah,
these bands used to
yeah,
talk about shit. Now they're just like going for the formula and I can't.
yeah,
Alt
yeah,
country is still about like, well, I got weepy today because I was looking at a picture of my mom, and I'm like, hell yeah, country song,
yeah,
tell me about it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
They're always
yeah,
what is it? New country is pretty much just all like trucks
yeah,
and
yeah,
dancing around those trucks, preferably
right,
on
yeah.
some sort of
Now that
unregistered road.
yeah, that's like like modern Nashville country
Yep.
is like that, and it's bad. It's so bad. But but the Americana stuff is really good these days. Yes, yes. Hip hop is
We're talking about you, Florida Georgia line.
yeah. They're crap. God, they're so bad. Yeah,
I and it's it's such a well-traveled road to complain about now, but it's
yeah,
only because country has not made the effort to stop sucking ass.
yeah, yeah. It's like yeah, those that vein of thinking is still alive because they keep they keep doing it, and it's terrible.
I've heard other people refer to this genre as just bro country, which
Yeah,
kind of makes sense. But
yeah.
the thing that gets me is like when I think of typical bro behavior, I think of like chugging Bud Light, and now they're not allowed to do that because all the douchebags hate Bud Light because they went gay.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they like
Oh,
sponsored like some drag performer and made like
oh,
a rainbow can that was just like, hey, let anyone be who they want to be. And then a
right.
bunch of shitty old has-beens like Travis Tritt started getting angry and being like, I'm not gonna have Bud Light on my rider anymore. And they've been like shooting
Oh,
cans of Bud Light on the internet.
oh God, that's so dumb.
Yeah, that's another thing
Right?
I love Jason Isbell for is he's been roasting all of them on Twitter, and it's very fun.
Okay, good. Yeah, hell yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
now I feel like bro country can start to die because now the
yeah,
culture that bred it is
yeah.
too gay for their liking,
Right. Yeah.
which is great because Lil Nas X already gayed up country for everybody,
Yeah, he did.
and I I would love if radio country devoid of white bros just became overwhelmingly gay. Like you tune into a country station and it's just gay country club beats, and there's fucking nothing you can do about it. Sponsored by Bud Light.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, let's make country make country gay again.
Yeah.
Fuck. Let's see. You getting into any mischief lately?
No,
Anything you've seen? You see a guy eat his own head?
no. I, I've been I've been trying to write a lot,
Hell yeah.
and I've been working on sort of my near death experience story because
Yeah.
it it keeps coming up for me. It just
It's
does.
it's
Yeah.
uh it's
So
def it's gonna be prominent in your life forever, probably.
probably, yeah. It was kind of a big deal. So yeah.
Some might say
So
life changing.
right. I hope so, man. I hope so. Because yeah, I wasn't doing very good
Yeah.
before my accident. Yeah. So
We'll have
yeah.
uh we'll have you read another passage next time.
Okay.
Get
Okay.
everybody in the loop. So you better pick your favorite passage. We're
Okay.
gonna get we're gonna
Okay.
do we're gonna there we go.
Okay. Yeah.
Or we could just call it like Jonathan's Corner, something weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I like Jonathan's corner. I like
Ooh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Make a nice sparkly banner. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm going to get this guy edited together, get
Okay.
some more coffee, and lament about shows that have not been.
Okay. It's okay. There'll be shows waiting for you once you get stuff straightened out.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, this has been the Petri Dish. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next Tuesday and every Tuesday for the foreseeable future. In fact, next Tuesday, when the next episode goes live, I will be down at Laughs Unlimited in Sacramento doing the Pro-Am Showcase. So go to my Instagram to get tickets for that and watch my social medias. I'm Bobby Benedict everywhere, as you can see by the frame around my head. This has been me and Jonathan talking shit about all you bro country assholes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You shake it for me, girl.
Yeah. Shake it.